Hi everyone, FMGreeno here. Welcome back to Leipzig, where we're spending the FM22 beta. So we're doing pretty well in the league. You can see there, we are third currently. We're at the end of August. A couple of big things coming up then. We can get into that data hub now, plus transfer deadline day is around the corner. And we're going to bring you a really big live com. Let's get into it. So let's start out with the data hub. Now a lot of this is information that was available in FM21, but it's been kind of condensed into one place, made to look a bit prettier, hopefully a little bit easier to analyse for those people who are into that kind of thing. So you can see here, there's things up at the top here, the general overview, basically of how we're doing as a whole, team performance, muchly similar to that. There's a report of how we're doing, formations that we're facing, formations that we're using, and a comparison between the amount of clear-cut chances created. There's different player analysis stuff here. Actually, it's not quite ready for that. We need a little bit more data. But we can look at how we did in the last match, the last 5 matches. Lots of different information here. Our next opponent, that's Bayern Munich. We've got an international break to come first. So that's in 12 days' time, but that's going to be the live com from today's episode. Tough match. So it's kind of interesting. There's all different reports you can ask for here about general performance, all sorts of different individual stuff. So you can get a kind of general overview of how things are looking, like in this little graphic here, for example, showing that we're not really conceding any goals, for example. Our passing percentages are good, our shots on target percentages are good, that kind of stuff. So if you just want a general overview, that's available here, but there's a lot more you can go into if you really want to dive deep into it. Anyway, that's enough about the data hub for now. We'll probably come back to that later on in the season, but we've got transfer deadline day to deal with. We've got a couple of deals on the go. So the first of these deals is for Federico Bernadeski. Now, Juventus have accepted an offer of just £5.25 million for him, which I think is a really good deal. Look at the amount of different positions this guy can play in. He plays as an inverted winger on the right. Now, that is an area that I don't actually have anyone who can play there at the moment. You remember we're playing Nkunku out there on the right-hand side as an orthodox winger. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because one thing I've noticed going through the last couple of matches is that crosses seem to be a little bit overpowered. We seem to be getting a lot of them in and getting people on the end of them. So perhaps orthodox wingers rather than inverted wingers might be the way forward. But if that is the case, well, then he can start out on the left-hand side and play as an orthodox winger. So he gives us options, that's for sure. I don't know what he's going to want in terms of wages and whether we can fit that into our structure or not. We'll have to wait and see. Another player that we're in for here, I never pronounce this guy's name right, Richard Lee Bazur. Now, I actually had him in FM21 for a brief spell at one of the clubs I was playing with. I think he's a decent little option. Again, if we decide to play that 4-3-3 role, we don't really have a proper holding midfielder in the squad. We tend to shoehorn Willy Orban in there, and that's not really a great role for him. So having someone who can play there as a natural, I think would be a good thing. He's only 24 years old, plenty of room to grow. So I think that's a guy we want to get on board. We've had a bid of around £4.5 million accepted for him, which again, I think seems reasonable. Let's go and see if we can get either of them done. So transfer deadline day is actually here, and they've revamped this a little bit. So you can see it's kind of got like a Sky Sportsy kind of feel about it with the yellow and everything. But there's all sorts of things here with rumours of moves and all that kind of stuff that you can just access here. So there's some rumours around about a couple of our players. One of our backup players, Halstenberg, maybe going off to Wolfsburg. Apparently we're being linked with a guy, a right winger, João Mario from Porto. Madrid are being linked with Mukiele. And the one that worries me the most, Dani Olmo, being linked with Man United. Well, if they're only going to bid £41.5 million, they're not going to get very far, that's for sure. But maybe, if a really big bid came in, we might be able to use that money to strengthen in all sorts of areas. So that's something to look out for. But I quite like the way this is set up. Anyway, I'm going to go through this a little bit and see how it develops. So it looks like the first of those deals we're going to get over the line is the Bernadeski one. We've had to pay quite a bit for him in terms of his wages, although he has taken a bit of a drop. So we're paying $85,000 a week. He was already on 120 a week at Juve, so I don't know whether he's done a deal with them to sort that out a little bit. But I think that's a really good signing for us. Welcome aboard. This is quite a nice little touch on the deadline day thing. A bunch of agent offers out there. So there's 38 players being offered to us apparently by agents from all around the world, and it gives you a little bit of an indication here, although they're not fully scouted, of roughly whether they're worth bringing in or not. The vast majority aren't, it has to be said, but there's one or two around, like this Kamara guy, that might be worth us taking a look at, so that's quite a nice touch, I think. And we have a second deal going through today, so Bazua is coming in, £4.5 million. We're paying him 16.75 grand a week. Not an expensive deal, but one I think will really, really help our squad. So the transfer deadline has now passed. No bids came in for Danny Olmo, so I'm quite pleased about that. And overall, I'm pretty pleased with the business we've done for not very much money. Getting Bernadeski in, Bazur and Gigo. I think two of the three are probably first team starters right from the off. Bazur is a really good option for us. So money well spent. Right, we need to get forward to that Bayern Munich game. It's about 10 days away because we're in the middle of an international break now. I'll be back with the lineup. So in this international period, we've also had the Champions League draw, and it's not been that unkind to us, I don't think. So we're up against Liverpool, Lille, and Rangers. Lille, obviously, in real life, have gone off the boil a little bit since Galtier left, so it'd be interesting to see how that pans out in the game. But yeah, I'm not unhappy with that draw. And the games are going to come up throughout the autumn, so fingers crossed we do okay. And talking of needing crossed fingers, it's the game against Bayern today. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how we get on here. So I've made a slight tweak to the team. We're going with the inverted wingers now that we brought Bernadeski in. So Nkunku is going to drop down to the bench. That means I'm pushing Mukiele up a little bit. So he's going to have to get around here and overlap a little bit more. In fact, we might even move Gigo to that wide centre-back role to help cover that a little bit more. Campbell hopefully is going to fill into this little gap here a little bit. We'll see. Obviously, Bayern are going to be a fairly good attacking force, but we're going to try and fight fire with fire a little bit. Let's head over to the stadium, see how we get on. So here's our lineup, a very packed stadium here in Leipzig today. I may have gone a little bit gung-ho, but we will see. We've got a 4-2-3-1 here from Bayern. Be interesting to see how that matches up against our 5-2-3. As you can see, both in pretty decent form, second and third in the table right now. So let's hope for a good game, plenty of match action, and hopefully a good result for us. First highlight here, it starts with Bayern on the ball. Here's Kimmich down that left-hand side. Gnabry on the ball now. Thomas Muller back to Sabitzer. A good save by Gulacsi. Not quite sure what Mukiele was doing there, but we've kept the ball out. Another highlight here, Kimmich with a throw. Gnabry, that's a good strong run. Lewandowski, oh, Gulacsi saves us there. You don't want to be giving Lewandowski too many of those opportunities, that's for sure. Corner from Kimmich, headed clear. Is it going to be the end of highlight though? No, Goretzka nods it over. Blimey, we're under pressure. Another highlight starts with Bayern on the ball. I've had to make a change already. Unfortunately, my right wing back got injured, so I've brought Lima on to replace him. I also dropped the... oh, goodness. Oh, he's missed. Dropped the wing backs back a little bit to try and give a little bit more structure to our back four, back five, even. Oh, is that cleared off the line? Oh, Lewandowski handballed it. But look at the stats here. We haven't had a shot yet. Bayern have had 15. So something's not quite working, is it? I think we need to have a little bit of a reassessment at half-time. We might possibly consider moving to one of the 4-3-3 formations for the second half. Oh, just wide again. Goodness me, they're absolutely smashing us all over the park. Is Gulacsi quite a long way out of his net, so hopefully we don't lose the ball. Gigo, he has lost the ball. And there's Gnabry. Forced wide. Kimmich into Sabitzer. Thomas Muller. Kimmich. Gulacsi saves and Lewandowski misses the follow-up. What on earth happened there? Unbelievable stuff. So we're in the last knockings of the first half. Musiala. And finally they have the breakthrough. Or is it offside? The referee is checking something. It's a goal review. But it's awarded. Well, that's a bit of a change from FM21, isn't it? Didn't see that very often. I think I saw it twice in the whole cycle. So that's well, in this case, unwelcome, because of course it means that Bayern's goal counts. He was onside by a mile, goodness me. Why did that even need reviewing? Okay, so we definitely need to make some changes in the second half. And Szoboszlai is pretty tired, so Bernadeski is not having a great debut either. Now let's get into the tactics and make a change. So I think we'll probably go to this more positive version of the 4-3-3. And do we take Orban out? Or do we take Gvardiol out? Much of a muchness in terms of playing at centre-half. Ego is on a yellow, so maybe that's the sensible decision, to take him out. And we'll give Bazur a go. He can come on and play in one of these holding roles in midfield. Halfback seems okay. And we will swap Campbell and Olmo around. We want Olmo to be an advanced playmaker. And Bernadeski, again, comes in. This time we'll use him as an inside forward, I think. Let's see how that goes. Bayern start in the second half as they finish the first with a goal. Those tactical changes that we have made less than 3 minutes later. I don't know what Gulacsi was doing there, flapping around. That's not great. Oh, and another opportunity here. It's not going well. Okay, just over an hour gone now. We still can't seem to get on the ball. We have had a couple of shots, but nothing highlight worthy. And Bernadeski is going to get himself sent off on his debut, isn't he? He's already on a yellow, and he's shown a second yellow. That's a red card. Oh, problems. Problems. Right. Olmo can play out there, so perhaps we'll move him there and go a bit like that. Maybe we'll use him as a playmaker rather than a winger. See if we can get him on the ball a little bit. Szoboszlai has got to come out because he's very, very tired. I think we'll bring Forsberg on for him. A lot to do to get back into this game, that's for sure. Do have a free kick though. Olmo boots it straight to Neuer. Marvellous. He rolls it out to Upamecano. There's Schuler. Alphonso Davies on the ball, looking to make roads down the left-hand side. In towards Lewandowski. Holds it up nicely. There's Musiala. Is he going to have a pop? He is, but Gulacsi saves it this time. 25 minutes to go. Are we going to counter-attack here? No, we're not. We're going to give it straight back to them. Oh, my goodness. It's like we're afraid of the ball. Gnabry, was he offside there? They're reviewing this one. I think that looked more offside than the first one at first glance, but no, that one's awarded as well. Okay, so let's take a look at this. We'll see the lines on the pitch in a moment, I'm sure. It was a well-created goal and a well-taken finish by Gnabry. Let's see how far onside this one was then, shall we? Oh, yeah, he was played on by the guy in the middle. So we're into the last 5 minutes of the game. You can see in the stats in the top left-hand corner. It's been an absolute mauling today. We didn't deserve anything from the game. We went down to 10 men. It's not been good. It's a 3-0 win for Bayern. Well, that result leaves us in 5th place in the table, as you can see here. Greuther Fürth are the surprise outfit at this stage. 7 points from their first 4 games, putting them in 3rd place. Bayern and Dortmund already looking like it's going to be a 2-horse race for the title. But we will see. We have to pick ourselves up straight away now. We have Liverpool coming up in a few days' time in our first Champions League game. That's not going to be easy, that's for sure. I'm not quite sure when we're going to come back. It'll probably be a Champions League game a bit later into the campaign, I guess. We want to sort of zip through this a little bit. we obviously got to get through this season over the next couple of weeks before the main game drops. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It was kind of interesting to see how the Data Hub works and how the transfer deadline day has been updated. Both of them pretty cool little additions, I think. Shame about the Bayern result, but they're the kind of games we're not really expecting to win, I think, aren't they? If you did enjoy it, please drop a like on there for me. Help me get seen by more people. And if you've got any comments about the episode today, any of the signings I've made, anything you can see in the tactics that you'd like me to fiddle about with, let me know in the comment section below. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, click on that button, ding the little bell for your notifications, and come and hop on the Greenobus. There's plenty of room for you all. It just remains for me to thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for some more action back here with Leipzig. Bye for now.